Everybody's still under the impression that we're only fighting over oil in this world. Well, I hate to tell you this, but rare earths have become the main battle point in this world. Oil, no big deal. Yeah, it's necessary still, it still runs the world. But with all the technology and everything that we need to do, rare earths have become the new point of battle. Now, I'm going to show you two, not just one, but two videos. One's going to explain who currently is the superpower when it comes to rare earths, and two, why Ukraine is actually a big deal now. I have a feeling that the information that the leader of Ukraine led off with, I have a feeling that since that used to be a Soviet territory, that Russia already knew what was there, and if you notice where they control when you're looking at everything. So I'm gonna play the first video, and then I'm gonna play both of them. So we're gonna have the introduction, play both videos, and we're gonna talk about it afterwards.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Rare earths are essential for high-tech products. Everything from electric vehicles to mobile phones and even fighter jets. However, China dominates the supply chain. And as relations between the US and China deteriorate, Western countries fear they don't have an alternative, which could have serious implications for the future of manufacturing. Rare earths are a group of 17 metallic elements with obscure names such as lanthanum and terbium. They are actually relatively plentiful in the Earth's crust. However, their geochemical qualities mean they tend to be widely dispersed, making them relatively difficult to mine and process profitably, hence the name. As a group, they tend to have high melting and boiling points, but it is when they react with other elements that they become really useful. In fact, they are indispensable for many electronic, optical and magnetic applications, and currently irreplaceable for modern devices such as electric vehicles and mobile phones. They are also vital for the defense industry. Half a century ago, the Mountain Pass mine in California was the world's leading source of rare earths. But a successful push by Beijing to become the global leader in the sector means it now produces about 80% of the world's rare earths. The sharp deterioration in relations between the US and China is fueling concerns that Beijing could cut off the supply. In July, China threatened to impose sanctions on Lockheed Martin, the biggest US arms manufacturer. This has prompted the US, Australia and the EU to step up efforts to create an alternative supply chain. Currently, there is just one major non-Chinese supplier of rare earths, Lynas, an Australian-listed company. But Lynas can only handle the so-called light rare earths at its Malaysian processing facility, leaving Western companies totally reliant on Chinese suppliers for heavy rare earths. In July, the Pentagon provided funding to Lynas and US-based MP Materials to design heavy rare earth processing facilities that could be based in the US. The US and Australian governments have also signed an agreement to source new rare earth deposits to boost security of supply. The task of establishing a non-Chinese supply chain will not be easy, however. Even though rare earths are relatively abundant, the process of separating them poses technical and environmental challenges. China's dominance of the market enables it to control prices and put pressure on challengers. Beijing's Made in China 2025 strategy is to create a vertically integrated supply chain that dominates mining, magnets and high-tech manufacturing, such as electric vehicles. But an increasing number of Western experts say this is exactly why the West needs to begin producing its own supply of rare earths, and also the high-performance magnets required to power the digital age. Otherwise, millions more high-tech jobs could migrate to China.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky shows reporters a once classified map pinpointing the location of his country's rare earth and other critical minerals.
These deposits are priceless, huge amounts of money. Huge. That's why we need to protect them. So if we're talking about a deal, that's what the Americans want. Then let's do a deal.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he's open to negotiations.
So we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things.
Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz on Sunday echoed the president's desire to recoup U.S. aid to Ukraine through the country's natural resources. Rare earth minerals are important for the manufacture of electric motors and consumer electronics. Zelensky says less than 20% of Ukraine's resources are under Russian occupation. But he calls Ukraine's Dnipro region very rich and warns that if Russia controls those mineral deposits, it could feed them to U.S. adversaries like Iran or North Korea. Targeting the area, Ukrainian drone operators launched strikes against would-be invading Russian forces along the Dnipro River. Zelensky says Russia knows the location of critical resources back from Soviet-era geological surveys. Zelensky also says he has discussed with Trump the idea of housing U.S. liquefied natural gas in Ukraine's underground storage sites. Back in Kyiv, it was another night of air combat as Ukraine's Air Force says it shot down nearly half of 139 drones launched by Russia. No damage or casualties were reported by local officials. Meanwhile, German lawmakers last year approved a roughly $107 billion special fund to strengthen the country's military in response to Russia's war on Ukraine. The German army currently has around 179,000 troops, and according to AP, the country aims to reach 203,000 by 2031.
The situation in Europe has changed because of the war in the Ukraine. So now where whole areas are changing and we need to get ready for maybe a war in the future, we need to fill up our reserves.
Ready, go.
World leaders will meet this week at the Munich Security Conference in Germany to discuss, among other subjects, support for Ukraine. The talks run from February 14th through the 16th. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News.
Now, this is why everything's happening in Ukraine the way it is. Okay, they already had some advanced manufacturing going on there when it came to weapons systems that was taken over in the area that Russia has control of now. Now it also seems information's getting out, as you heard, that now Russia controls some more of the rare earth areas. This is a big deal, folks. China has control of a massive portion. Russia tried to gain a major portion of them, and don't tell me that they didn't know about it. This is what's going on in the world, and yeah, we just had 4 years of a president that just unstabilized everything to the point that Russia realized, hey, we can take over this territory because what are they going to do? And the American people are too stupid to vote for somebody who actually can do anything about it. That's the way things go. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and all that stuff for me. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're conservative, I don't care if you're liberal, I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.